Hello, my name is Adam Garantz and welcome to this week's episode of the Susan and Mo team presents Adam Garantz's Fun with Real Estate on the Road. It's pub night for you and your friends. Maybe you go to your favorite watering hole, or maybe you want to try something new. Well, this week's Fun with Real Estate approved location is Ottawa's oldest pub. In fact, it's even older than the city of Ottawa itself, opening its doors in 1849. Welcome to the Chateau Lafayette. Meet Deke LaBelle, the general manager of the Chateau Lafayette, also known as the Laugh, from what I understand. She's here today to tell us all about this family-run business. Deke, thank you so much for letting us come by.
My pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about the history of this very old bar.
Awesome. Well, bars, they don't really expect them to last that long, so they don't really keep a lot of history. But we do know that the first mention of the Laugh in the history books was September 17, 1849, which in Ottawa was the date of the Stony Monday riot. So there was a large political uprising, a riot took place out in front of New York Street, and people sought shelter inside the Lafayette, which really put us on the map. At the time, it was known as the Grant's Hotel. It was opened by a man named Francis Grant sometime in the 1840s. 1849 is the year that we have chosen to
say that you opened.
Yeah.
How long has your family owned the Laugh now for?
So my maternal grandfather bought the business in 1966. So 53 years this year. I'm the third generation, brewing the fourth generation, and hope to keep it in the family for generations.
Sounds like you guys are really trying to do that. Now, I've heard that many famous people have walked through the doors. Can you tell us some of the names that may have been here?
I can tell you those that we have confirmation of, and we do have a few rumors.
Sure.
Most recently, Jeff Martin of the Tea Party. He stops in usually whenever he's in town playing the show. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Lee, countless hockey players, politicians, but they like to keep a low profile.
Yeah.
The whole band from Creed actually popped in one time.
Interesting.
Then somebody played their album on the jukebox. Well, that was fun.
And then they probably left, right?
They didn't sing along, anyways.
And who were the rumored names to come by?
One of the most fun one I think that we'll touch on is Patrick Whalen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I know you guys were at the jail hostel recently where he was hanged. No affiliation whatsoever.
Good to know. Does your family own the whole building?
No, we don't actually.
Okay.
It's a long-term lease. The company named Ambassador Realty actually owns the building and most of the block down Byward Street.
Yeah.
But it's the Loeb family that owns that company. So we've maintained a lease with them for obviously over 50 years now. We don't really want to own the building. It's 170 years old, so it's nice to have that partnership with them.
Makes sense, and you avoid all the problems.
Exactly. Well,
Exactly. What kind of music do you guys play here at the Lab? Just like through the jukebox or through the speakers?
Everything, really. I mean, there's the daytime crowd likes a lot of classic rock, so obviously the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. And then the sort of, as the night goes on, the crowd gets younger and the music changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you also do live shows?
Yes, 6 nights a week we have live entertainment. So we do an open mic. On Wednesday nights, we have probably one of the best blues musicians in town. His name is John Carroll. Celebrated 15 years of Wednesday nights at the Laugh last night. Saturday afternoons, obviously, what we're most well known for is the Lucky Ron Show. And he's actually been playing here 20 years, in Ottawa for 33 years.
Wow.
And so that's a kind of country afternoon. Same show every week, really nothing new or different is his tagline. Lots of Canadian, lots of Johnny Cash, Stompin' Tom, that kind of stuff, old country. Then we circle through a lot of local bands. So Thursday nights, Friday nights are duos and trios. We got a great vinyl DJ on Saturday night, and then a regular DJ Sunday night that goes to a sort of an industry vibe.
Cool. Now we've talked about the atmosphere, we've talked about the age of the building. Let's discuss the food and the drinks. I'm currently holding your house beer. Tell me about your house beer.
So it's called 1849. It's brewed for us by Big Rig Brewery. We worked really closely with them to find a recipe that would suit our broadest clientele. So it's a very sessionable beer, very light tasting, lots of flavor without being overwhelming.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Signature food, what are you most well known for here?
So we do an awesome poutine. I mean, we're known for creating homemade classics. So everything that you sort of look for when you go out to a pub. We've got wings, we've got poutine, we've got hand-cut fries. But one of the most unique things about our menu is probably our burgers. We work with a local farm called Fusion Livestock. They're right up in Metcalfe, Ontario, so just about a half hour from downtown. But they're actually cousins with my mom and my uncle, who are the owners here at the Laugh. What's interesting about that is the breweries in the area, the craft breweries in the area, have to do away with their spent grain after they've brewed the initial process of the beer. So they donate that spent grain to local farms around the area to feed the cattle. So our cows at the farm eat the spent grain from the 1849 from Big Rig.
Wow.
Get all fat and juicy, and then that's what goes into our burgers here. And that's the only ingredient in our burgers.
It's really a family business when you look at it. Even the cows are family with everything else related.
Farm to table.
There you go. That is awesome. Do you have to pay cover to come in here on your evenings, whether it's for the live shows or the club nights or whatever?
Never. We never ever charge a cover charge, and that's something that we hope to maintain forever. More important for us to see you sitting in your seat enjoying a pint rather than standing in line outside waiting to pay $5, $10, $15, $20 to see the band. Our bands are here, they're paid well by us, and just for your entertainment.
Excellent. That is fantastic. What do you guys have upstairs in this building? Because I hear it's connected to the pub, but it's not pub upstairs.
It's a rooming house.
Okay.
So rooming house is low-income units. So all the rooms are about 10 by 10 kind of thing. Some are a bit bigger, some are a bit smaller, but they're single units. Got a bed, a sink, and a fridge in them, and they share washrooms and kitchen. So it's all men. Sort of our way of maintaining a connection to the community.
So Deke, there's some really cool artifacts, tables, pictures, sort of everything that you guys have here in this building. Tell us a little bit about your favorite pieces that I guess you have here.
It's hard to choose. This table that we're actually sitting at here is really unique. So when we were renovating this side of the bar a few years ago, the whole floor had to be redone. We'd had floods and everything, and the floors just kept getting put like layer upon layer.
Yeah.
Well, we had to strip it back down to as low as we could go, and right around this pillar here, in the floor was what almost looked like a tile hearth. The tiles are about half an inch thick, and the corner tiles had this motif on them. So this is actually a scan of the tile, and you can see the tile in our little artifacts cabinet that we have on display in the bar. We don't know how old it is, we don't know when it went in, but it just has this beautiful maple leaf emblem on it. So we actually duplicated it here on this table. If you check out our wooden sign out front, when we had that made, he used that motif as well in the corners of the sign, and on our main entrance where it says 42 York Street, he also he reincorporated the tiles there.
That's pretty cool. Now the picture above the fireplace, this can be seen on your website. It looks kind of biblical. So tell us a little bit about this picture.
So we call it the Laugh Supper.
Makes sense.
Obviously it's a representation of the Last Supper. We have a bit of a relationship with religious art. I don't want to say it's too close of a relationship. We obviously have mocked a little bit about what it all means. So you can see above the bar there's a painting done in the 90s. Mocks the creation of Adam, where you can see him serving a beer with his coin changer and everything.
Yeah.
So we decided when we did the renovation to honor the current staff and owners and performers that hold tenure here at the bar, and we thought the Last Supper would be a really unique way to do that.
For sure.
So we actually headed down to Restaurant 18, just down the block, and we took advantage of their beautiful stone walls and fireplace.
That's
and
awesome.
The photographer who took the photo made it look more like a painting than it obviously is, so we didn't actually sit there for hours.
It's very cool. It's pretty sweet. This is a really cool place, Deke. Thank you so much for letting us come in. We really appreciate the opportunity to sit down and speak with you about one of the most historic buildings in the city. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This pub has an incredible history, including Ottawa's oldest neon sign. If you want to join the likes of Patrick Whalen and Dan Aykroyd, grab your friends and come on down to the Chateau Lafayette. You will not be disappointed. Stay tuned next week for another fun-filled episode.